Hey folks. Welcome to my experiment of doing a micro workshop on YouTube Live. If you're joining me in the live chat, feel free to say hello. And as a starting point, I thought it would hang out while we play the comfort music video. Oh, I see some hearts. Hello, Elith. Hello, Tom. Thank you for joining. Oh, Electron 124 is here. Fantastic. Well, welcome to a Two Truths micro workshop. It's great to see you all. And just as a moment of, it's Friday, it's time to take a nice deep breath going into the weekend and whatever it holds for us, whatever the week has held for us. So I thought I would show the comfort music video first while people are joining. Here we go.
To know, too much for one small heart. You hide it, you fight till you're overcome, scattered and numb. But somewhere in the dark, the quiet sweeping arc of a broom, folding cloth, a swirl of soap and water. And before you can insist, there's no need for all of this. We are gathered around, and finally tears can come. We'll bring rain in the summer heat, send a song through the line when you can't sleep through the night. We've got you, so let go. We'll bear the weight a while. Lay down, we'll walk the waiting miles. When you're not alright, we've got you, we've got you. But why this? Then just this. Too much is lost, too much to swallow down. Why is this the daily road we keep barreling on? Too much unlearned, too late to turn. But somewhere near the dawn, there are bodies linking arms in the street, growing threads, a hand raised at a table. And as far as you have gone, someone will go beyond. We're winter's deep. Send a song through the line to move your feet for the fight. We've got you. You're so bright when your current flows, so good when your brokenness shows. We're all here tonight, and we've got you. We've got you. We've got you.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to mute myself so I wasn't talking or typing over the music video. Thank you. So thank you for, sorry, I was just talking at the camera for a little bit there, silently. So I just wanted to say thank you all for joining. The live chat is getting quite lively. And I see Tom and Ray are already planning to join other actions today, like a Zoom workshop to protest, boycott, and general strike for rights and freedoms and rule of law and democracy. Tom is joining a Stand Up for Science event, so thank you so much for doing that. If you want to share links to anything that the rest of us should know about, please feel free. So I thought I would try this sort of event where we gather together, maybe just to take a deep breath together, to feel like we are not alone in whatever we are trying to work through. And on the topic of this trio of music videos, I thought if it feels relevant to you in this particular moment, on this particular day, here is a prompt for you. What's pulling you in two directions right now? Just gonna take a moment to actually plug in my computer so that it doesn't die. Been doing a lot of offline work. So I know a lot of us are holding multiple truths in our head at the same time, multiple priorities, multiple responsibilities, and feelings that we are accountable or responsible or, I guess, morally compelled to. Or maybe you're just at a crossroads. Maybe there are certain choices you have to make in this particular moment. So I thought I would prompt you to say, feel free to share in the chat. What is pulling you in two directions right now? For me, some of you joined the micro workshop on Instagram Live last night, and so I shared this, that I often feel pulled both to commune with you all, to really be spending time engaging and building this wonderful community of people, both at live shows, on tour, and also in gatherings like this, on Patreon, through social media posts and things like that. And that also, requires time and energy. And I also feel pulled to really honor the reason all of you originally gravitated to this, which is music, which is creative work. And that really requires withdrawing. That really requires kind of shutting all of that out and really just kind of being very, in some ways, solitary or just with my musical collaborators. And so that's often where I feel it pulled in two directions. It's like, well, I would love to really spend more time doing this, and I also want to spend more time doing this. So I thought what are some things that are pulling you in two directions in this particular moment? Oh, I see some chat coming in. It says anger and despair. Neither are really great for me, but that's where I am. You're kind of pulled between, yeah, it's a hard time. And so sometimes the things you've pulled in two directions aren't even what you would immediately feel like productive directions, right? You often feel like, well, I'm really furious on the one hand. I really just want to curl up in a ball and disappear on the other hand. And so it's not, sometimes they don't feel like great choices. So I really feel you on that. Accepted to a PhD program, and one in the US and one in the UK. Wow. Different emotions, echoing different emotions from John Shimabukuro. Fear paralyzes and anger wants to get involved. Yes. I feel called to be more out as non-binary. Oh, that's a really brave thing. But also afraid of consequences. Yes. Oh, that's so hard. When you want to really stand up and be known for who you are, and you also know that this is an atmosphere that makes that especially, there's so many risks that carries right now. Tom says, I vowed after the election that I would turn my focus in on work in my community rather than nationally, where I can actually be with people directly and have more leverage and impact. But there's a lot of national things happening right now with the national parks and scientists feeling compelled to work on national. So there's the question of going big or going small. What is local? What is national? Where can you make the most difference? Where is your energy drawing you? Yes. Unsure whether to buy a home and put myself into debt or spend more time paying someone else's mortgage. Yes. Feeling, which role do you want to play? Do you make that leap and take on that risk, or do you stay kind of where you are with with a different set of potential drawbacks to that? Yeah. Mira, hello. She says, my job, should I keep doing the thing I'm doing now or change to something else? Yes, definitely a lot of personal and professional choices. I pulled a lot between taking care of myself and working harder and doing more and working harder and doing more for the climate. Yes. That's a lot of really, I would say, rich problems, even though they're not fun sometimes to wrestle with. So I absolutely hear you. Well, on that, I thought, let me stick with this for a moment. So what we'll do for the next several minutes is I'll just walk you through a number of ways of potentially approaching the way that you're pulled in two directions at once. Some of these may not resonate or just not feel practical. They may not, or they may be something that you've tried already and it didn't feel like it was the right thing. But just for a moment, I would love for you to just consider them. Just embrace that and say, like, what would that mean? And then we'll move on to another one and then another one. So the first one is, when you're pulled in two directions at once, sometimes it is a matter of just choosing. Just pick one. Pick one, prioritize one, deprioritize the other, focus on one, neglect the other, right? So what if you simply chose one? Which one do you feel like is the most true for you to honor at the expense of the other? And if that doesn't really feel possible with this current situation that you're in, what would need to change? What would you need to have in terms of support, in terms of resources, in terms of a change in your situation to really enable you to make that very stark choice? And sometimes it involves really holding and maybe grieving or accepting, acknowledging what you have to give up in order to do that. So I think, just to share one of my choices, 5 years ago now, I decided to have a baby with my partner, Jacob. And it was a long, agonizing choice leading up to that because I have always felt that I don't know that I'm cut out to be a birth parent. So it was really, I had to do one or not. And I think that one of the things that I really had to let go of was a sense of control, a sense of being able to really shape my life according to my own terms. And to just decide that, whoever this person is, I'm going to have to welcome them and do right by them. And maybe that means that I have to become, a champion of a kid with special needs. It may be that I have to, change a lot of things in my life in order to prioritize whatever they need. And it may mean giving up a certain way in which my wonderful marriage and relationship works that now has to make room for something else. So I think that's some of the stuff that I had to work through. So how does that feel? How does that feel in terms of the crossroads or the things that you're trying to balance? Does just simply choosing one feel like the right thing? It's great discussion going on with the different kinds of responsibilities people feel. So then I'll give you a second choice, or second way of approaching it is if you can't actually give up one entirely, could there be a season to the choices that you have? Could you honor first one and then another? Could doing one first, is there actually a proper sequence to things? Could doing one first actually help the other one? And again, what kind of support or resources would you need to make it okay to neglect one of them for a while? Just looking at the chat here, Tom is saying, do that next activist thing or take care of myself. That's the thing you're pulled between. Infinite things that call to my skills and concerns. Yes. And then Ray is saying, there's no glory in being a reclusive communitarian. And Electron 124 says, hard things about my decision is, as an immigrant, it's a proxy for doubling down on the US or throwing in the towel and going somewhere else. Sad face. And Ellis says, I don't know if choosing one is possible in my case. I've burned myself out before, but maybe I should consider activist work as opposed to well-being. Jose says, good thing to focus on the thing you have to give up to make room for your choice. Yes. If I change my job, says Mira, I would lose doing a lot of things that I love, but it will make a lot of things easier in my life. So it is possible with some of these that it is you make a choice and then that permanently changes things. And there are things that you lose, but there may be a matter of balancing one and then another, of really honoring one first and then another. So certainly in the case of burning out while trying to do good things for the world, I really love the expression that it's not a marathon and it's not a sprint, it's a relay. So absolutely taking care of oneself is part of doing good work in the world. So sometimes it is a matter of pushing yourself when there's things to be done and there's something urgent to get across the finish line. But then we all have to take time to rest and to recuperate and to let someone else carry it for a while. Yes, personal sustainability, absolutely. So I'm going to share a third one, which probably leads us into another music video, which is, what if you somehow figure out a way to stack the two things that you feel pulled between? So maybe they're pulling you in different directions, but where do they actually overlap? Is there a way that you could honor both of them? Is there a way that maybe there's some sort of third way through that is actually kind of taking the wisdom from both of them? I was thinking about that in terms of what a few of you mentioned about anger and despair. It doesn't feel like a very fun choice or even a very constructive choice, but I think there's something that, you know, the world and your own kind of wisdom are telling you when you're feeling despair, and something that it's telling you when you're angry. And so what is that? What is the common thread between being furious and really wanting to get out there and you know, change things or burn things down or whatever it might be? And what is it trying to tell you, this feeling that, you know, maybe all is lost and you know, it's hopeless and, you know, maybe we should just all kind of retreat and you know, accept the helplessness. I know that all sounds like, wait, where is the wisdom in that? But I do feel like sometimes when you're feeling despair, it's because whatever we have tried up until now is not working. And the despair is that, like, this isn't working. And maybe the part that comes after that is, okay, then what? What have we not tried? what could be new that actually leads us out of here. So the despair is actually useful in really coming to grips with the fact that this has not worked. And anger, I feel like, is also something that propels us forward, right? It can be, sometimes it can feel dangerous, but it can also be so energizing, and a frustration with like, okay, it hasn't worked, but like something has to, right? Because there's something hopeful in that anger still that says, this isn't, it could be better than this. Let's try it. Let's try to find whatever that is. And so for me, certainly in politics, I found that my anger and despair ultimately find a home in wanting to find a new way to break through this stuff. And sometimes it's taken me to scary places of acknowledging what people I vehemently disagree with may be onto that I have missed. And maybe they're going about it in a terrible way, but they have understood something that I have not understood. And that carries the seed of maybe a possibility of doing something better. So that's kind of where it's leading me. And I don't know that I feel hopeful yet, but there's a lot that I feel like I am now excited to understand more and to find more people kind of thinking in that way. Oh, another thing about the relay race. Activist work is like being in a choir that can hold a note for a really long time because there's always someone to take over singing when you need to take a breath. So those are 3 ideas. 1, just choose. 2, maybe honor one and then the other, and then come back to the other, and then come back to the other. Or maybe there's a proper sequence, first one and then the other. And then this third one that seems like maybe the hardest one of all is that if you're kind of torn between 2 things, what if it's not a binary choice? What if it's actually some third thing that honors both of them? And what can you actually let go of in order to find the capacity to embrace that third way? So as a way of just ruminating on that for a moment, let's do another music video watch party moment. And so here is 2 truths.
We got work to do tonight. Go digging, 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 digging deep this time. 'Cause this goes way back. We got work to do. Go rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up tall this time. 'Cause there's no falling back. And sooner in the ears and on our minds being quiet, sweeping our calling us out of folding cloth, swirling again. We want you to draw that brightest fire, keep your faith calm, aiming high, summoning all the right. And finally here, and we got love, bring rain in the summer.
Man, Arcadia being at the end there, it gets me every time. Thanks everybody for watching. Yes, Elith, I love that. This always makes me think of, in times of crisis, look for the helpers. Yes, there's always, we're never doing things in isolation. You know, we're always helping other people in invisible ways that we will never fully know, and we are also helped by people in ways visible and invisible, felt and not noticed until much later. Well, we're coming up toward the end of our time of this micro workshop experiment, so thank you so much for joining me. I thought I would leave you with one gentle nudge in just sort of thinking about both what other people have shared in the chat and what you yourself may be wrestling with in this moment. Of the different approaches we talked about, of choosing, of dynamically kind of weaving between one choice and another, or figuring out some third way that actually honors both of them in some new way. Which one of them feels right to you in where you are right now? And whichever one feels most right, how will you take a step in that direction? You don't have to commit to anything, you just have to, try something. So what will you try out tomorrow or later today or sometime next week? Whether it's just looking up, some new piece of information you may suddenly find yourself wondering about, or seeing if there is an organization or a group or a book or some other wisdom out there that you might seek out given how you're now looking at things. But regardless, thank you so much for being the kind of person who is able to do this. Just the fact that you're joining this this chat and this event and just thinking about how do you hold two truths at the same time? How do you honor competing priorities at the same time? How do you make choices that are right for you and a brave way of living in the world? Thank you for being that kind of person. And thank you for thinking out loud, or at least in chat on text with me on this, because I feel like I gain so much just being together with you for this sort of thing. So thanks. This was really fun. And if you feel interested in either referring someone to do this sort of micro workshop, or if you just want to join again, I'm doing this one more time this week on Zoom. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern time, and you can find the info on my tour page. And this will also be archived, so hopefully you'll be able to find it online afterward. And just thank you. This has been great. And just I want to take one more deep breath with you. Feel free to do it with me if you feel compelled. And we'll go into the remainder of our week that way. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.